What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Post Podium Podcast. Listen. There are some very, very big differences between the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills economy, and the numbers say it all. Make sure you stay tuned for tonight's episode of the Post Podium Podcast. Let's go.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. Everyone sick, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Hits. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes, and voice of the critically thinking fan on the Built-in Buffalo Network. What's going on, bro?
Well, I mean,
I'm your co-host, Aramis. This is 40 Keys over here. What's up, everybody? Look, let's cut to the chase. We ain't got a lot of time, so let's get straight to it, bro. The week that was.
You want to know why I'm wearing the shirt again? It's the reason.
Tell them why. I saw when you came in, I was like, here we go.
Yesterday, I had to take a day off. You know, I still got my uncle's stuff. I'm dealing with all that nonsense. I'm running all over Buffalo. And so I go to my lawyer's office. Mm-hmm. And I walk in, it's, a major building, so you got to sign in and go up. And I walk in, and the security guy is like smiling. And I'm like, whatever. I've seen it do, 3-4 times. I'm like, whatever. Your stickler kind of gets on your nerves sometimes. But so I walk close, he starts laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing at? He's like, I've never seen that on a shirt before. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was wearing it. So, I go up and do my business. 15 minutes later, I come back down, and here he is. All right, 154. Excellent. And I'm like walking away, and I can still hear him laughing behind me. I made his day. So then I go to the bank to get something notarized, not thinking about nothing. I'm trying to get in, get out. And they're like, oh, man, I love your shirt. Like, I forgot I had it on.
Look at that.
I'm like, I got to wear this because this is my thing now.
Yeah.
I'm about to get like every color there is. I'm going to get them custom almost with Josh Allen like this. I'm gonna get
That's
that.
That's the next graphic. Yes, thank you for that.
How to pick up Elmo here?
Oh my God! I'm doing that tonight, bro.
I'm
so doing that tonight. Yep. Watch.
I don't know how you do it, but hey, and also, I'm gonna jump the gun here. Happy birthday, Aramis. Wait, not you. There's another one, isn't there?
There's a younger version
of you.
Very much so, yeah.
Ooh, I'm about to say, how'd you become 23? We were just 42 last week. Anyway.
I keep doing it. I figure it out.
Man,
I figure it out.
You're going backwards, Benjamin Button.
That's it.
And retrospectively, I'm like, man, thinking about, I met you when I was 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I got to get my son. I'm like, this man's grown. You got to get your what to my son? This man's grown. Then I went through, yay, I lose. I went through that. I went through the kid. I was like looking at why is he playing wrestling with his metal cars? He's just smashing these things.
Yep.
I'm like, what's wrong with this kid? But this is the story where you wanted to fight me. Remember at was it Panos?
Yes.
And we were waiting in line.
I did want to fight you for this.
I know you did.
I was so mad. It was funny because it was one of those things where I was like mad at Junie for doing it because you gave people the ammo to clown him like that. Oh my God. So, I don't even know if he remembers this. I gotta ask him about that.
He wanted to fight me, but we waiting in line up against the wall and he's he's about 5 years old, so he's not tall. He's got a little black scully on.
Yep. And
he's standing on here. I hear this, and I'm like, the hell is that? What's going on? It's like 7 of us. I look down. His son's sitting there under the hand sanitizer machine. It's motion censored. So every time he moves, it's like squirting it on his head, but it's foam. So he looks like a little Mr. Frosty on top of his scully. So every time he moves, he gets another swirl. He didn't know.
Yo. Like a little silver doo-doo right on his head.
It was just growing and growing.
And he's just looking around, just completely unaware of what's on his head.
Why
and
y'all
you
laughing
see
at
it.
me? And I'm like,
it pointed out to everybody. And he looks up at me like I'm supposed to know about this. And I'm like, Junie, get from under there. What you got? I'm mad now because he allowed this to happen.
But yeah, no, honestly, I will say, I never got to witness my growth with somebody else growing as a father. And now I just have a kid that was in here, had a beer with me.
Yeah.
Doing studio work. This is a full circle moment. I got my own kid now, but this is 23 years ago. So happy birthday, June.
Just so everybody knows, my oldest son, Junie, just turned 23 yesterday. The 13th of August is his birthday. And I was able to talk to him last night. So we're doing a cookout on Sunday. We're going to celebrate the day that was and the 2 decades and 3 years that was, and reminisce on some good times. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Y'all should come through.
Maybe I will. Yeah, we'll see.
But anyway, yeah, he's very excited to be 23. He's in way better position than you or I was at 23. Man got a union job and working first shift, and
I was hurting.
Yeah, so I think at that point I was working 2 full-time jobs, and one of them was going straight to child support.
Yes,
so
it was. Yep.
Yeah, so it was ugly, but yeah, I'm proud of him. I'm very proud of him. I even mentioned the possibility of him coming back to the show at some point, and because he works first shift now, so. We'll see. We'll see how that works, and if he can swing it, and then we'll do that. But either way, it would be fun to get him on the show just to kind of reminisce on the beginnings of the show, because we looked at one of the original episodes in our Discord chat. What was this, yesterday or I think it was yesterday.
Yesterday, yep.
And what was funny about this video? Like I just decided to pull it up and check it out. And this is back when Junie was producing the show, we had it so that I had my own individual camera shot, and when I was talking, it would be on me. When he was talking, the camera would switch to him. And what was funny about this episode is this is before we had the mic stands or anything. We were using the clip-on mics, right? We didn't have no lights behind us. We didn't have none of the decor that we have now. But anyway, long story short, every time I was talking and the camera switched the keys, he got shorter and shorter at the desk that he was sitting at. It's the same desk, but like Key would be like right here, and then it would come back to me. And the next time we went back to Key, he'd be like right here, and then it come back to me. And then the next time, and each time you would see him like shuffling in his seat, like he's trying to
make the chair go up some.
Right. He's trying to pump it up with his butt or something like that. Like, why I ain't going up? What's going on? By the end of the joint, dude was like down here like this.
I was chilling at that point. I'm like, hey,
it's like, screw it. I'm just gonna be short.
Right, I'm down there. I don't even know.
But yeah, so the hilarity of it to me was being aware of the beginning times. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding how far we've come, and it's really like. We say how far, it's only been 3 years.
Yeah, but it doesn't work though.
Like really, like June 7, 2023 is when we started this.
Yeah, man, we started think like this. We started this show 9 minutes ago. We got 61 people watching already, 2 likes. 2 Facebook likes. So I mean, that's 61. It took us a month to get 61 views. I think that show has 47 views to this day.
Yes, it does. It's only got 47 views.
And we watched it 3 times ourselves. So it actually was like 40 views. That's terrible. And we kept showing up. We kept coming in. But, it's funny about it because it's where the mic was. The mic, because I didn't know how to talk into the mic. So the mic was like here.
It was right on your
breathing. It's picking up all the movements. I'm like, I can't. I suck. And some of you guys still think I do. That's fine. But, So I did want to also say, Brad Ryder, you son of a bitch. Did you hear the Twitter poll he had yesterday?
No.
Would you rather give up the existence of wings or Josh Allen? I said, you son of a gun.
Oh, man.
I was like, I will give up anything but friends and family and wings. you that's my downfall. I can't do it.
Could I give up wings for Josh Allen?
It's my favorite food.
And here's the kicker. Like, are you promising me Josh Allen is immortal and he will always be my quarterback?
My life.
Like if you're promising me an immortal Josh Allen and like nobody in the NFL can contest this, they can't ask for a birth certificate, they can't ask for any other like none of that, right?
Right.
Like you just have to accept that Josh Allen is immortal and he will always be the Bills quarterback and he's never leaving us. I think I could give up chicken wings for that. I think I could. Like, I mean, think about it. Could you not? Like, you can get just chicken nuggets and pretend they're boneless wings. Like the video, like the clip I sent you in the Discord chat.
My one vice. You can take my beer. Take beer. I will give beer and alcohol. Do not.
What about turkey wings?
No, they're not. No.
You can't make a wing out of something else.
Dorothy's in here already. Why did I
give up the wings for my son?
What is it about Josh Allen and Christian Benford? Like she showed up from nowhere. She's giving a moon. Dorothy's never here at 5:41, but she today.
As soon as you mention Christian Benford or Josh Allen, she be standing there staring at you.
Right. Did you just say Josh Allen? I mean, I'm thinking there's so many other things I would give up. There's so many other things. And Jeremy White, he had a point. He said, I can't do it. And he's a Josh Allen big fan. He said, because you're talking about 10 years of Josh Allen versus 30, 40 years of chicken wings. He said, now, if you go to eat chicken fries, what the hell is, no, Savannah, no. Lemon pepper wings? Nah. I know that's an Atlanta thing. I don't like lemon pepper, but that's an Atlanta thing.
I mean,
it's originating from there.
If I put it like this, if the seasoning is not, because like not everybody does it right.
There's so many misses. That's probably what it is.
Yeah. But the other part too is they'll do the lemon pepper dry rub, but then the chicken wing be dry too. Like you can't. It don't work like that. Like I need the juice inside the wing to accentuate the dry rub, so that I ain't choking trying to chew it and swallow it. Like
you're like one day removed. It's fine.
Right.
Dave Meyer said, buy wings. I can't. I'm a fat boy. Okay. Yeah. I sat at the table and ate 58 wings. No, 61 wings in one sitting.
I think you're losing this one, bro. Even Dave is like, buy wings.
And the thing is, gone. I'm not mad at you because I can see that, but that tells me how gluttonous I really am. Because
I'm not willing to give up chicken wings for anybody.
I will give the Denver Nuggets for chicken wings. I need my wings, man. I need them, man.
This is I need y'all to understand the gravity of what he just said. He will give up the Denver Nuggets. This man was watching every single Denver Nuggets game since before they drafted Carmelo Anthony. Think about the hilarity of the franchise before they drafted Carmelo Anthony.
It was bad. Nicholas Skidisvili.
And like
still, I would take my wings.
That nasty doo-doo gold that they was rocking before Carmelo Anthony came and they changed to the powder blue.
Yep.
Like that's love.
Yeah, I mean, he said wings. I said, why just say wings? Why wings? You could have said pizza.
Because it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt.
People don't love him as much as I. And they think
he probably knew that.
That's right. He wasn't even talking to me. He knew that. Son of a gun.
You know who this will piss off?
Yeah, that guy on the Post Podium Podcast I've never met.
Yeah. I've heard him say how much he loves wings so much. Let me put this out there.
He said he loves me. I think he loves me a little too much. I'm gonna give him the merit. Yeah, no. Oh man.
You know what's interesting is when you think about the attachment to wings. I'm trying to segue us into our first topic here.
Oh, you tried it. You should have wrote it down. I would have did it.
But I had a way to do it, but I lost it at the last minute.
You should have wrote it down. I would have did it for you.
Yeah. Obviously, I suck at this. Bro, for Darian Mathis' suspension, you were very passive about the I don't want to say passive, maybe just kind of dismissive.
Yeah.
You didn't seem upset about it.
With Darian Mathis?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Why should I be? I mean, he's a one take. First and foremost, he's a one take.
Uh-huh.
You know, we didn't. I was talking to Sinky on the drive-in. I wasn't driving, but he's a one take. We don't know what kind of plays he made from that position. So for me, we know he played the 3 tech. We know he spelled when Ed Oliver was hurt. He did okay there, better than Jordan Phillips for sure. Better than Dwayne Carter for sure. And Dwayne Carter didn't even play, so that's neither here nor there. But He's a one tech. If you can find me Linval Joseph, you can find me somebody like that off on the free agent, market. I'm fine.
I wouldn't take Linval Joseph.
Well, I'm
now.
not him, but I'm saying that
Somebody
kind of
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I to be honest, I think that's so. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, because if this was 10, 15 years, if this was 10 years ago, what?
I'd even give up the Starbucks sludge.
He would risk falling asleep at the wheel to save wings.
I bet you Dorothy ain't even here no more because I didn't say I would take something over Josh Allen. I'd take Josh Allen over my Starbucks sludge.
She was like, "Oh, you keeping my son? All right, I'll take."
Oh no, she's like, he keeps slandering my son. How?
She definitely can't say that now, bro. You over She definitely can't say that now.
But yeah, no, yeah. The math is saying like you go ahead.
If you think about the value of one tech's run stuffing defensive tackles, I'll just lump them in together.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about the value that of them 10 years ago, it's gone down significantly since then. So I think that reaction is probably the same reaction amongst most teams, right? And this the reason I say that is because the NFL has definitely transitioned to more dual threat defensive tackles, guys that can do both, guys that can play the run well and get penetration and pass rush.
Right.
And that's changed the game. You think about guys like Chris Jones and Aaron Donald and even the Dexter Lawrences of the world that can do both. That wasn't as prevalent back, 10 some odd years ago. So the status quo back then was you get a big boy to take up two blocks, and then you free up your pass rushing defensive tackle that you really don't count on as much to be good against the run. If he gets swallowed up in, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's cool.
Have
you been swallowed up? Have you been swallowed up?
Okay, we'll give another one to that. I knew you was gonna do that. But yeah, like teams don't even really. They didn't bat an eyelash at that point if they saw their three tech, getting pushed out the way. Bring that up to now, it's much different. Mm-hmm. You expect Ed Oliver to be able to take on whatever comes at him because you're supposed to do both. You did both in college, even though it's very different in college. So to that point, I think I understand where you're coming from, right? And I guess the reason I might seem like I'm willing to die on this hill of we need a one tech is that's the only time that we've been top 5 in points per game, yards and points per game surrendered was when we got Daquan Jones in his first year. We shot up to 5th overall. Yep. Every other year it's been 6 or worse. Yep. Right. And people throw out this, top 10 in defense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's in yards. Right. But I've already done the research and I've shown everybody that it's points that equals championships. Right. 15 out of the last 20 Super Bowl winners have been top 10 in points defensively, not scored points, giving up points. You just don't let teams score. Right. Mm-hmm. So from that standpoint, to me, it seems like, okay, if I'm going to put forth a defense that's going to allow Josh Allen to not have to, make several attempts against elite defenses in the playoffs and possibly give up another 4 turnovers, then the best way to do that would be to field an elite defense and don't make it so that it's, we have to depend solely on the X's and O's and guys being put in the right position because, what if our defensive players don't have answers for their defensive players? In my mind, like that's what trumps everything in the NFL. That's why I always say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's. Because if you put Josh Allen out there, it don't matter what defense you play. Right. And so what did teams start doing? They stopped trying to sack Josh Allen and started trying to stop his weapons. And that became much more successful for everybody in the NFL. So now when you force Josh Allen to have to win the game by himself, you open up the opportunities for turnovers. All you got to do from there is just capitalize. That's what Denver did.
Yeah. So I think the question that you're asking me is this specific to Fedarian Mathis or is it just a one tech?
I think it's both. Because I consider Fedarian Mathis one of two guys on the team that can play one tech.
I have to see it because I know he didn't do it in Alabama, and that's not where he really flourished here. So if that is something he can do, fine. I don't think it's on tape all that much yet. So, and a good one tech, is a strong guy with lower body strength, somebody that can, like you said, tie up 2 blocks and free and make it available for everybody else to move and shake. Can he do it? Maybe, but I don't want one of those deals where you're sitting here and you're saying, well, who do we have? Well, who's the best of what we got? Fedarian Mathis, he's a holdover. He was a second-round draft pick, 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, and it's like, okay, fine. Now, if we're talking about, I'll even say McDonald Cade McDonald from Houston, or somebody like that. That's more of a blow because he was brought in for that very thing.
Yeah.
And as a first-round draft pick or a very high second-round draft pick that you made an investment towards, that's where this conversation wouldn't have happened with me, where I would say, whatever. But for me, Phil Mathis is like TBD, just like Dwayne Carter, TBD, just like Zion Logue, TBD.
Doesn't this open the door? Because that's the other part of this, too. Doesn't this open the door for Dwayne Carter to stay? If you know you're going into this season with a guy in Fedarian Mathis that's kind of more of a tweener than a full blown one tech, and then you got Zion Logue who's a nose tackle, a true nose tackle, and then you got Deion Walker who is an elite pass rushing defensive tackle.
Yeah, I honestly don't think so because it's a 3-game suspension, and Jim Leonard, he has to be less rigid than McDermott. So he had to say, okay, Deion Walker, you don't want to play a 0 or 1. We'll put you in a 2-eye or something like that until we get, if I got a certain moveset or a certain defensive front I need to show. Because you got Landon Jackson over here, who I'm very excited to see what he does tomorrow. Hopefully his whole pulls through. I'm not as excited about TJ Sanders, but I think you can get around Fedarian Mathis for 3 games while using that roster spot elsewhere, whether it be in the safety room, whether it be, wide receiver room, whether it be wherever else you need it on the offensive line if you need it.
Okay. So my next question to you then would be, do you think this improves the chances of Zion Logue getting a chance to show what he can do?
Now that I will hope. Because he was entrenched as a one tech. And that was his calling card. That's all he can do is a one tech. He's like the Jordan Phillips, the rookie from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I would hope that he would get a shot at showing what he can do and not be on park. Now, what's funny is this. I just thought about it on the fly. Who else did they move to defensive tackle?
Landon Jackson.
Nah.
Who else?
Nah, they moved your boy.
Your boy.
Yeah.
Travis Clayton.
They moved him to the defensive line. So if need be, that's a holdover because he cost you nothing. You cut him after 3 games and you got Phil Mathis.
Makes it?
No, but no.
So that would make sense because you keep Travis Clayton on. Why? Because Dwayne Carter's making way more than Travis Clayton is. Mm-hmm. You keep Travis Clayton on, you can justify. All right. To be honest, dog, you really wasn't gonna make the team to begin with, but we needed to keep a roster spot open. So we gonna put you on the practice squad and boom, boom, boom.
Nobody wants you. You're going to practice squad. You're fine.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. Dwayne Carter's got a lot to prove, and Mr. Migo, I'm very interested in Landon Jackson this time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've met him numerous times. He's a very nice dude, personally, a nice guy. So I'm rooting for him. It hurt me that we drafted him because I was like, great. Why? But then I met him, and then I'm like, still, why? But now I look at his college tape, and I'm like, he played 4-eye. That was his call. See, these are calling cards. Mm-hmm. And when he came out of college, he hit that 40-inch vertical. He was a 4.75 40, and he's gonna be better off the edge. When you're only slotted to do a certain thing, just let him do that. It doesn't matter if you project him better somewhere else because it doesn't work that way all the time.
Interesting question that just came to me when you talked about meeting Landon Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, everybody watching, if you want to answer this too, I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts on this too. So here's the thought, because I remember what it was like when I had a chance to sit down and talk to Keon in the kitchen back there,
mm-hmm.
and understanding his mindset from interviews that I've watched about how he talks about the game, how he studies the game, and then having a chance to hear him talk about the game in person, I think that gave me a really strong appreciation for the football player and his approach to the game and what it says about his ability to, think the game and eventually, if given the opportunity, perform at the level that it sounds like he could based on the way that he processes and thinks and approaches the game. And I think all of that is really what got me, to be like, I really like this kid and I really want him to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
So my question to you would be this. Do you think it's more moments like that where people get to meet players and get to know the person and that's what creates the like? Or do you think it's more on a case-by-case basis of, this guy showed me this, and so now I understand him better and can relate better, or I want to root for him more?
I think it's relatability.
Okay.
And that's the thing that Bills are good at pushing. They put a lot of these Matty Collab one-on-ones when they draft the players. They have all these little vignettes, these little segments and shorts where you get to up close and personal. You see DJ Moore fighting with Skylar Bell. You see, and you hear Khalil Shakir telling the story about how the rookies were supposed to take him to dinner and DJ Moore left said, I got everything, don't worry about it. So it's like, oh, I like this guy. He's a hell of a guy. Bought $1,200 worth of T-shirts for kids or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, that's my kind of guy. That represents us, but you don't know what he's doing behind closed doors.
Right.
So that's a gift and a curse. For me, if you're seeing me in person, you probably are not happy. So if I'm dealing with you and you're not a what's the word I can use? You're not a degenerate, I'll say. Then it gives me an appreciation for something because I've seen the other people in all walks of entertainment, all walks of athleticism. I mean, funny story. I had, I think I told the story, but we played the Raiders one day, and and I'm at the counter. For guys who know, I work at the airport. So I'm at the counter, and I don't know what happened the week before, but we had Uzi Vert came through, then Freeway, the rapper from Philly, came through, and I'm just I'm checking them all in, second, third, and then my friend, he's like, yo, Key, I need your help over here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't know how to check the person. I said, you know how to check him in. You've been here long enough. He's like, get your ass over here. I'm like, all right, cool. So I walk over there and I see this nice looking lady. And I'm like, whatever, she, all right. Look at the tag. It's Deborah Cox.
Wow.
So people that was my childhood crush. So my friend knew this. And so I have, who was it? It was Lincoln Kennedy. That's who it was. Lincoln Kennedy came running in, and he had missed his flight. And he's like, yo, I got to get on. I was like, it's too late, fam. And I'm like staring at Deborah Cox from over here now. And he's like, I'm like, what? He's like, wait, is that Deborah Cox? I was like, yeah. He's like, I missed my flight, but I'm standing next to Deborah Cox. I know. I know. This ain't a bad day. So, but when you run into people like that and they give you the personal side, you can relate on a personal level. It's not manufacturers, it's not marketing, it's just them. But then you get people that are good friend, right? You get people that are less than because their media counterpart, their talk piece is not there, and now they don't know how to act, and now they're being rude, and you don't forget them. So I think people that come across, Raven Simone at Wegmans or whatever the case may be, and they're like, she was, I'm sure she was nice because she likes Buffalo, but I'm going to use her because I don't know anybody else, but she was a terror. I hate her. And then you see this person in there nice. You're like, oh, I'm rooting for him now. I don't care how good or bad he is. I'm rooting for him. And that was a long-winded way of saying, a lot of people, they relate to a backstory. They relate to, a personal encounter. They relate to something and they grab onto, especially in Buffalo. If you say, I love Buffalo, you say, I love wings, you say, I love blue cheese. They're like, oh. He's one of ours.
Well, see, I think that's where I was going next, because the interesting thought that comes to mind is that a good quality to have as a fan of the team that these players play for? Because it does kind of raise the question of whether or not it creates an undue, maybe undue is not I'll stay with undue. Does it create an undue bias towards I guess, for these players when realistically that's not the nature of the game. If the teams are not showing that kind of bias towards these players, shouldn't we be on the side of the team that is trying to move guys around, move guys in, move guys out in order to put the best 53 on the field? And here we are pressuring them. Don't get rid of the guy that I like because I like him, and I don't care if he's not good for the scheme that you're in. Mm-hmm. Keep my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that? Do you think that maybe gets in the way sometimes of as far as like the public pressure that puts on a team, or do you think that just NFL teams don't give a damn?
Well, I don't think NFL teams really care. I think that's disconnect because I think fans think they care more than they actually do.
Interesting.
And I think you read my mind with this because we were talking to Dorothy, about Christian Benford and Josh and the defense mechanism. And I'm sitting here like, I know I'm a fan. I memorize it. I study this. I look at this for this one team. Yeah. But there's not one player. I'm like, yo, don't talk about them. There's not one person. There's not one. But see, fans do that.
Yeah.
And that's what draws them on Sundays, on Mondays, on Thursday. Like they'll, like for instance, is it you that follows? No. Who's I know somebody that follows LeBron James like everywhere. Like wherever he goes, that's their team because they're a LeBron James fan. I know you're a Steph Curry fan.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron hater.
Yeah, no, I know the LeBron wasn't you, but no, the Steph Curry, you start watching Golden State when Steph Curry hit because that was your team. Yeah. But I have another friend who like LeBron, Cleveland, LeBron, LA, LeBron, Philly, and LeBron.
Wow.
Yeah. Because he's never talked about Philly. He's a ball player, know, but he's never just like you said, our team when he's talking about Philly. I'm like, but I know he's a LeBron fan. So I'm like, you can have it. Let him have it. You don't know nobody else on the team. I know you can have it. But I think that's for fans. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Like even podcasters we can't do that because we got to be objective. We can't, you talk about the podcast I sent you. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to have a conversation yet. But he's a fan of a particular player, and the question was, who is the most indispensable the player that outside of Josh Allen, who is on this team that you cannot live without?
That's a great question. I'm very interested to see the answers there. Say it again just so they can hear it.
Who on the Buffalo Bills' current state of operation, besides Josh Allen, can this team not function without? So, who's irreplaceable? Who's indispensable? Who, if they weren't playing, you're like, yep, pack it in.
And think about this from your personal perspective. Don't think about this from from the perspective of can the team afford to lose him? Let Joe Marino have his own thing. Just let him have.
So you did watch it, okay?
Let him have his own thing. From your personal perspective.
Oh, Cindy, I hate Cindy K. He said Hamlin for sure. You know he's a liar. Oh, you know he's a liar. This dude is hilarious. He brings light to my day.
It is the hatred for Hamlin. Like it reminds me of my hatred for Levi Wallace way back when. It really does. It warms my heart to see that somebody else can hold that much hatred for a player.
Let me tell you how bad this man hates Levi. I'm playing Madden and I only control the defensive line. For whatever reason, Levi Wallace was defensive player of the year. I didn't play him one time. At 3 a.m, I screenshotted my TV and sent it to him. I said, I ain't even do it. He had 9 interceptions. He had just. I'm like, I knew it was going to shake him to his core, so I had to do it. And Sinke, when it comes to Hamlin, it is unmerciful. And Roy, get back to your question. I did start. Give me 1 second to put this up on the monitor for you. He said, isn't Clayton part of the international program? He'd be the 91st guy in the practice squad and ineligible to play. No, that's not right. If he made the team outright, he can play. He's 91st to get a waiver to not count against the team's 90. But if he was good enough, he could play.
Okay. All right. The next order of business for me, anyway. Did you have anything you wanted to swing out there?
We're talking about.
We were just talking about Fidarian Mathis. This is suspension.
To
it's PEDs, by the way, just so everybody knows.
Oh, is it PEDs?
It's PEDs.
Oh, I thought it was substance. Okay.
Or yes, I thought it was substance. The same thing.
No, PEDs is like the Tren and TRT and deer antler spray, stuff like that. Substance abuse is like weed, alcohol, usually some kind of illegal
substance abuse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was, I think.
I saw substance and I was like, oh, they found something in his blood.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, that's why I said, man, he should have used something else because it didn't work. But yeah, no, you're what I want to get away from though, when I was listening to that Marino podcast, which actually it was a good question, thought provoking. I'm not gonna say who we thought it was because I don't want to seize the show up because they may still be in here. But I think, okay, Iro, thank you so much.
Very different.
Now the show's over. Yeah, recreate. Okay, injections are different from alcohol. No, I know that, but what I'm saying is alcohol. If it's drinking on the facilities or something like that, and they detected it, they just lump all that in as one. See, alcohol related.
From spring in 2025.
Yeah, that's from when you weren't even on the team.
How did they find out about this?
I have no idea. It must have been pending forever.
Okay, so here's one of the things that I do know happens.
Mm-hmm.
And this happened under Sean McDermott. These teams have private investigators that they can send out to follow players to find out what they're doing.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so we got another mole who's still here.
So what I want folks to really start thinking about when it comes to this move is who benefits from this the most. And I
got something on my face. What?
It's just a little something. This is just raw up in there. Let's get all that up in there. You got to think that way. And the reason I say that is when you think about what's happened to Von Miller, what happened to Deshaun Watson, what happened to Kareem Hunt, right? Kareem Hunt's back in the league. Deshaun Watson's back in the league. Ray Rice is not. Right? Rashee Rice is back in the league.
He's all over the place.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So my point is this. There are certain players that teams are willing to cover for and allow to come back. And there are certain teams that they hold on to stuff until they need it to be a reason to get rid of a guy. Say that again. Sometimes NFL team, and I'm just telling you this from what I know. There are some things that teams hold on to and save for an opportunity to get rid of a guy that they can't justify otherwise.
Damn McDermott.
So I'm not saying definitively that this is why they're doing it. I'm saying it could be a reason, and we need to pay attention to who benefits from this, because that'll get you a little bit closer to understanding how this stuff might have come out. Is there something contractually with Fedarian Mathis where the team might save a little bit of money by cutting him and maybe, I don't know, keeping Travis Clayton? Do they need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff matters, because when we're talking about a very, very tight cap situation, Big Baller Beans got to make some serious moves and cuts in order to make this thing work.
Yep.
So,
yep. Yeah.
All right. Moving on from that, what you got?
Well, so this was actually on my notes. I gotta get this out. Dave's still in here. He put a tweet out like 2 weeks ago. He probably doesn't remember he did it now. But they put a picture when they were tearing down the old stadium and a video. And he tweeted out, this is Dave Myers from Built in Buffalo.
Okay.
He's not understanding why the Bills marketing team wants us to wait for it as they watch us, as we watch them tear down part of our childhood. We all know you're taking down the stadium, promoting it is just odd.
I remember that one. Yeah.
See, I think there's two. See, this is where the fan divide is. The fan who goes to the new stadium, this is awesome, save for the obstructive views. They just want to see new stuff in the second, third. But then you got guys like me and Dave, and you and Mac and people that came up in there, if you will. We watched it on Sunday. We didn't know we were watching football. I didn't have a guy at first to show me what football was. I just said, Thermos Thomas is playing.
Thermos.
Whoever the hell Thermos Thomas is, because I had a little He-Man lunchbox from old Thermos. And I said, he's got a weird name. I got to find out who this guy is. And we're watching, Jim Kelly. We got Biscuit. Who's Biscuit? We're 7, 8 years old. Like, this is hilarious. We got the weirdest names ever. And then you get to see Drew Bledsoe get drafted, and you watch him play. You watch all these people play it, and that place becomes a standing signification of one of the things why you love Buffalo. When you go out of Buffalo, when I first started in the airport, I was never in Buffalo. I was always on a plane. And what do you always do? When you leave, you're like, it's cool. I want to go home. But when you're on your way home, no matter how light, how dark it is, we flew over the stadium. And you're like, that's us. That's ours. You go somewhere else and you get on a plane, they say, we're going to Buffalo. You're like, they said Buffalo. I mean, it still tickles me, even though I know we're going to Buffalo. We're going to my hometown because that's where they're playing. I bought a ticket for. But, when I look at the stadium, I say, I learned football in that stadium. I learned what pride was in that stadium. I watched, as fans stand up and cheer and shout. We got football Elvis. We got the chefs. We got pencil rhyme even when he's clean. Devoid of mustard and ketchup. I watched, the fans heckle Ted Washington when he came back. I watched my first dude get socked out in front of me without even knowing it happened. At a Ravens game. See, the thing is, like, when I went to the home opener last year, I couldn't help but say, this is the last time I'm going to be in here. Like, I looked around the whole time. This is it. I took it all in because I'm like, I got to show my son this. This is it. I'm never going to be in this place again. I'm never going to get to touch this place again. It's going to be a parking lot. And for me, that's 41 years of my life that I'm like, this is all I knew. So I'm thinking about going to my first game with my uncle. It's the Oilers, Houston Oilers. You guys remember that are under 30 years old? Probably not. I went to his game with my dad. We didn't really go to sporting events. And now I took my son. I took T when she was pregnant. We went to the game against the Jets. Yep. And somebody stole my wallet. But I didn't care because we were there. And the list goes on and on and on. It's just like, I remember, it's just funny because me, my friend Gordon Willie, we had season tickets. And I didn't have a car to drive T's car. You remember that little red Vibe she had?
Yes, I remember the red Vibe, bro.
It's a Vibe. My man Willie was like that. All right.
Yeah, he was hooked up.
And he was like, relax. And T had the Pontiac Vibe, but her Vibe had a Hello Kitty steering wheel cover, fuzzy dice, and a floor mats. And 3 dudes riding to Orchard Park. And they're like, yo, take this. I'm like, nah, I can't. This is my girl car. This ain't mine. So we're riding to Orchard Park with a pink steering wheel cover, fuzzy dice, and 2 angry men with me. But things like that is like,
wow.
When you see those pictures now, when just like when we looked at the ruins of the rock pile before they changed it to Johnny B, we're like, yo, magic was made in there. When Ken hopefully tells his kids, if he has them, about his first game, I was there. I saw it. They're like, no, you weren't. I was there. And for me, like, if you could say I was at Gold Circle, I was at Hills, I was at Ames, things that are, there's like, just a stamp of my passport because I'm a part of history. And that to me is a big part of Buffalo history, especially from 73 to now.
Yeah.
To forever. It's in the annals of time.
Yeah. It's weird. Excuse me. For me, I'm not really too sentimental about it, but then again, I'm not really too sentimental about very many things. You know what I'm saying? The neighborhood I grew up in as a kid, the projects, they're gone now. They're replaced by townhomes.
Right.
And I've moved roughly 12 times already in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really been at any particular place for as long as I've been at my home now.
Right. You
know what I mean? And we've only owned the home for what, 8 years, just about 9 years almost. So yeah, almost 9 years because Ray was,
they were little.
He wasn't one yet when we bought the house.
They were tiny.
Yeah. So, and that's the longest I've ever lived anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me, moving from the old stadium to the new stadium, it's like, I don't know. When I see the old one getting torn down, I don't really have great memories at the stadium to fall back on. Like my first experience at the stadium was kind of tailgating. You know, my uncle took me. We got there early, and he got some subs from Wegmans, and I didn't like the subs. And
that's a good start.
Yeah, and so halfway through the game, it was hot, and I was feeling dehydrated, and I started to feel sick because I didn't eat much of the sub, and I didn't bring any water, and I didn't know if he was gonna buy me any, so I'm sitting there dry as a mug. started feeling sick, so I just sat down, put my head down the whole game. He never brought me to another game ever again. And then, you know, after that, it was either a game that was, you know, too hot and Junie really didn't want to be at, or, you know what I mean? Like, it just, for me, it didn't, you know, and that's just my personal experience there. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, there shouldn't be sentimental value in it, but you know, I'm one of those people where saying what they said about it, I think I agree with Dave, because while I don't have that same, you know, feeling about the stadium, my first instinct is to always empathize and sympathize with people in order to understand their perspective first. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I just, you know, knee-jerk react, right? Yeah. And so from that standpoint, it's like, okay, understanding, you know, where Dave is coming from, like, yo, like, people are like really up in arms and crying over this building being torn down like that. Don't make it worse by like, hey, look at this, you know, wait for it. Like, yeah. Don't make a spectacle of it. Just move it, you know, pave the way so that we can park there.
You have to say pave? Okay. That's okay.
And be done with the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So I remember reading that post when he posted it, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, and Nate, look at me then. You always gotta find something. Look at me. He's talking about that itty bitty blink right there. It's bothering me. Look at me.
The itty bitty what?
The itty bitty little blink, that little yellow orange-ish thing right there. Yeah, exactly. You got to find it's like in the middle of your camera.
Oh, what the heck is that?
I don't know, but Nate, nobody saw it until Nate. We got people having their beverages and this, that, and third. Go ahead and fix it. I'll keep talking about the stadium.
Yeah,
do your thing.
This one's not even plugged in. That's about to shut off soon. Yeah, let me get the fix.
Yeah, you do that. So I'm going to talk more about the stadium since I got you. No, who is it? Would I rather have the new stadium? I mean, honestly, no. I like old. It did shut off. You're gone. It's my show now. Yes, finally. 3 years in, I finally got my own show. But no, I think for me, when it comes to the stadium, I don't really get big on new things anymore. You know, when it comes to the bigger and better, the new thing, I really am. Nate said, yay. He's happy. The whole show is shut down. But no, I don't get big on, you know, the fancy, the new, the smell good, this, that, and third. It's all about, in certain regards, like when it came to the odd, you know, going to the odd. If you've been to the odd, it smelled like elephant. It was terrible, but it's something that you never forget. And I was one of those guys that would have chained myself to the front door of the thing because of all the memories inside of it. You know, it's there's one thing for it to be superficial, but it's another thing when it's something that is that's essential to the place that you love. You know, living here, being here, loving where I'm from, it hits different. So I mean, I'm not mad when people are not mad the stadium's gone. I'm not mad when people are rejoicing. I'm not mad when people you know, forget about that stuff. You know, you and you know, even OJs and things like that. Like you etch that out of it, whatever. But for some of us, it matters, and that's where I kind of say that there's a big divide between fandom. Some fans appreciate the history of something that leads up to the present. And some fans are like, "Oh, we're in it now. Forget that. We recognize it, but we don't dwell on it." I'm about to say, "Get out of here! You're not my I think it's my shot. You're not getting back on the show. It's over." Yeah, no more Blinky, no more Aramis either. But yeah, no, I think for me, I can understand the fan that likes the new thing. You know, I remember when they built the arena downtown, the Sabre Stadium now, because they had the Destroyers at the time. They needed that stadium. But then what happens to the blue seats. I always, when we go to whatever it's called, KeyBank Arena, I make it so that my son goes and sits in the odd seats. They have a old odd section where you have like a bar front. They have like 2 or 3 rows of the blue seats that used to be, and I take a picture with him doing that. He did. No, honestly, A's Field, his camera did die like as soon as he got up, so it was bound to happen. And I'm not stalling because I don't know anything. I'm stalling because I don't want to move on to another topic without A being here to have a dialogue with you guys. But yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the stadium, I hope that they do make good on some of the wrongs that they've done with the stadium, because I don't think it was malicious. I don't think that everybody's telling a true and accurate portrayal of what's happening at the stadium. I think, like Brad Ryder contests a lot about the pictures that they showed, the obstructive views and this, that, and third. Some of the seats weren't for sale. Then you hear some of the seats are only built for concerts that they plan on having in there. Then you hear, perception of the picture. Where are they holding the camera when they take it? Are you trying to make the stadium look bad? So maybe not. But, because Joe DiBiase seemed pretty sore about how his seat and his obstruction is. But then the other people are like, it wasn't that bad. And the other people are like, tear the stadium down because this is a failure. It's not a failure. And anybody, that's another thing. I'm going to defend the new stadium for a second. I'm going to defend this for a second because I'm tired.
You know what they said they're going to do, right?
What?
They're just not going to sell tickets for those seats.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I don't know how many seats. See, that's how many seats is it too? So I don't know.
I think they said 70. There was a number of it, but Gwelly tried to blow it off as like it's less than 1%. Like it's a decent amount of people.
Okay.
It's a decent amount of people.
Yeah, because I mean, if you can't see anything, didn't they have standing room areas? Didn't they say they were doing that? Yeah. So I mean,
you still got to have tickets for those too.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, so in actuality, it's like whatever. I get it. If you sold the tickets and they bought the tickets, some people said that this firm that sold the tickets, they were kind of pushy. They were kind of deceitful. They were kind of mafioso, like, oh, you don't want it? Well, you out of here. We go to the next one.
Right.
Car salesman-ish, But if you go on we're not affiliated. You go on StubHub or one of those Seat Geeks, some of those, and they have the fixture. It's a graphic image, and they don't put the railing there at all because there's no railing. There's nothing there. Yeah. And I mean, I guess they could do that because
there's legal action that can be taken for that.
Yeah, I mean, on it should say obstructed, but when was the picture taken? When did they decide they're going to put a rail there? Because remember what they did when they did the arena downtown? They're like, oh, we're done. Wait, we can't leave it like that because something's wrong. This is a safety hazard or something like that, and it's already over with. Yeah. So I mean, what made me sort of was looking in Discord and he was saying, look at this video. This guy says the stadium sucks. Buffalo got fleas. This, that, and they're like, hold on a second. You can, like J Ham said also. He said the expectations they built for saying you were never going to live up to. You never were.
Yeah, but they could have come close, and I think that's where I fall in the discussion. I don't want to make the lauded provocations and propagations about the stadium to be so grandiose that they could never even be touched. Yeah, maybe they were pretty high for a team like ours, and the expectations and all that kind of stuff, but there's still a dollar amount that tells you the stadium should be pretty damn good for $2.2 billion. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. When I look at the stadium and the condition of it, I'm thinking about this through my personal lens. I've been through the experience of going from a very old and smaller building to being a part of the blueprint plans and the planning for a new, a much bigger building. Right. I went through that with the last company that I ever worked for. Mm-hmm. So being a part of that process and seeing being able to walk through the building and having the engineers kind of tell you where things are going and how things are being structured and being able to talk that out and think about the practical application of, because I had to, dictate like camera placement and lock placement and stuff like that. Right.
So we got a special guest.
What's up?
We got a special guest.
Oh! Smitty in the house. What up, bro? How you been, man?
He said, "Ain't nobody talking about my favorite place, my least favorite part of the new stadium. What is that? There's no trough."
Everybody wants to pee standing next to somebody else.
Right. In full view.
In full view, yeah. Everyone's just standing in a big old jerk circle in the trough. I'm sorry. That's
Sign me up.
Yeah. Anyway, so my point is this. Throughout that process of building the stadium, they had done plenty of walkthroughs enough to know that this stuff was coming. And what bothers me is the game plan that they have now seems very arrogant, right? It seems very assuming that they'll just be able to do whatever they want and toss a few dollars at people to shut them up and make the story go away. And everybody's propagating that exact thought right now. You hear people on WGR talking about, oh, once the season starts, everybody will forget about it. What about those people that had high hopes and bought PSLs to have those seats and now have to get reimbursed and can't go and sit anywhere else because there is nowhere else? All the tickets are sold out. If you want to go and buy a ticket right now, you have to go to the secondary market and pay 3 times the price. And so you're left with this mindset of, well, first and foremost, you knew this was going to be a problem. And so in discussions surrounded around this problem, you somehow determined that you were going to do exactly what Gwelly said, which is we're going to take it on a case-by-case basis, right? And then you let everybody come into the stadium and experience it and put out all this news. And instead of doing what you could to squash all of it because you felt like you didn't really have to go that far, you still kind of held the upper hand over everybody because you control the franchise and you know people don't want the franchise to leave. What did you do? You got into this place of, well, it's less than 1%. It's not that many of you that are having this experience. We're not going to ruin this thing for everybody and delay the opening of the new stadium, which you really can't do anyway because you're stuck now. You already tore down the old stadium, which does make you wonder, why did they start doing that right away? Because imagine if the old stadium was still open and not torn down and people had experienced all these things in the new stadium, people would be like, you need to bring us back over there until all this is done. Redo it, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like it creates leverage for the team. Again, I'm the type of person that doesn't believe in coincidence. But when you look at all these things lined up, you start to realize, it's a mighty fine coincidence that all this stuff happened when it did and how it did. Right. So for me, it's like knowing the stuff that I know about how the engineering of a building happens, what the process looks like when you're doing walkthroughs and you're getting all this stuff explained to you and you're asking these questions. And then Pagula had nerve to quote, and I forgot who he quoted this to, but he said, we had to make concessions. Like he said that. We had to make concessions. So not only do you make concessions in the form of, yeah, there's going to be spots in the stadium where you can't see parts of the field, even though we used to have a stadium with the best sight lines in the NFL. Concession, right? But here's the other kicker. And I don't know if you... Let me see if I can bring this up. Actually, what time is it? 6:20. We don't have time. I apologize. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, go look up the Bills locker room. Have you seen the locker room?
No.
The locker room looks like one of the most state-of-the-art places in any NFL stadium I've ever seen. The way they talk about how the lighting works and how the ceiling is built and designed and all that kind of stuff. They got these like light beams, like they're not even beams. They're like I don't even know what to call it.
Like it just, lights and stuff like that.
It just looks like a spaceship in that place. Right. And then on top of that, they have an indoor warm-up field in the building right next to the workout equipment. Like you just like on game day, you just go in there and you run around inside the building to warm up before the game. All of this stuff looks and sounds great until you hear the team tell us, the fans, that the entire focus of this stadium was on our game day experience. It's supposed to be about football and the fans. Okay.
But if you warm up better, you look better.
I
think for me, I'm not gonna say I don't care about none of that because I don't, but not the hype, not because you laid it out that way. it's just for me, I don't trust anybody like that. When they say it's going to be this, it's going to be that. We've all seen letdowns after letdown after letdown. Look at the freaking arena downtown. It was good for the first 10 years. Now, 18 years later, after the 10 years, it sucks. And it is what it is because they're hamstrung by it, and they're not going to do anything with it. So this stadium, state of the art, is going to have this, it's going to have that. But see, what I'm saying is, and to J. Him's point, or what I was trying to make is not trying to make, but what I alluded to was the fact that how many people drove by the stadium numerous times as being built. Every beam, every time they put that little dumbass tree on top of the thing, they put and it's like, when you do that, your expectations are growing every time because you're like, yes, it's happening. So for somebody that's grounded, like myself, or like you, it seems because you don't really like going to the games anyway. Yeah. It's for people like us, it's like it's a stadium where they're going to play. They're going to be in Buffalo now because it's a stadium. But then you got people that they told, they showed you the state. I mean, just think about how they sold you your tickets. Right. They showed you a virtual AI where your seat is. They showed you this. So the thing is, they showed you everything, but they didn't show you there was going to be a plexiglass rail in front of you. So the view was the same exact view as they showed you, but there's no rail in the view that they showed you before because for whatever reason, maybe they thought they weren't going to need a rail. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, when you go somewhere and they're like, well, that's a safety hazard. Or the inspector comes and said, you can't leave this like this.
Right.
And they're like, we already sold them the seats. Let's make it clear. Because if they would have thought about they needed a rail there or something like that, they probably would have manufactured like some kind of other material and offset the seat somehow. So to me, it seems like the rail was an afterthought. Like, oh man, we do need something here. Oh man, this beam has to be because this is a safety. What if this falls? If it gets too much? And so now they're like, because you heard and you reported it. No, T told me you corroborated that she heard from people that the stadium wasn't going to be ready for opening day.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because there was things wrong with it they didn't see. And they told us there was things wrong with it they didn't see. So what exactly were those? They were hush-hush. So people already bought their tickets because they bought them early.
Right.
They bought them. They already had them. And Bill's like, oh, free. We can't. How can we do this? Maybe they won't know. Maybe they won't know. And they knew. They came in. They thought it was going to be exactly like they saw. And it wasn't. And I'm not saying they're wrong. I agree 100%. You paid a lot of your year's salary for this ticket and you don't get exactly what you told me. That's a problem for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's where this is coming from really for everybody. And again, I understand the perspective of, well, it's a football stadium. They're going to play football there and you're going to forget about it when maybe a degree of that is true, but I don't want to just blow off the people that are getting scred by this stuff
I'm
now.
You know
what I'm saying?
That's a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. Like
a lot of money.
It's okay. So let's do this. I want to make sure I get this out because I do want reactions and all that kind of stuff. So I do want to go through the main topic if we could.
Okay. There was, hold on.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say hold on. That's not what I meant. Nate wants you to get a reaction to Dan. I don't know what he said. Let's see. So yep, I was at Blue and Red, went through the entire stadium looking for water. Also the refill stations are currently not working. No guarantees they'll be turned on. So Dan's issue with the stadium is they don't have what was it here? He said water's an issue. No water fountains. There's a few water bottle refill stations, but policy says you can't bring a bottle. Also, designated driver program for free water has been discontinued.
Wow. Wait, so they have refill stations, but they weren't on?
I guess.
Is that what he said? Go back to the other one?
Yeah. So here it is. He says, I was at the Blue and Red game. We went through the entire stadium looking for water. Also, the refill stations are currently not working.
Yeah, so they have them, but they just weren't on. So I mean, it sounds like that's one of those things that'll be fixed before November the November 27th deadline.
I mean, Tim Graham alluded to what I said. Would have been the last show we did, right? Because that was the first show we did after Blue and Red, or was that? I don't even know anymore.
I don't remember.
Anyway, as soon as they had it, and they were talking about the sound system was bad. This was that.
The sound system was great.
Well, I think this is what we found out. They're talking about when Matty Glad was talking to George Wilson on the field.
Oh yeah, that sucked.
They had the speakers on the field,
right?
But see, that goes back to the air people were talking about. Like they didn't turn stuff on. Like they didn't have it at full capacity. Yeah. I'm not saying that your whole experience is going to be completely different, but they just opened the door and said, "Come on in. We'll give you some nasty pizza and some." Yeah, whatever. Well, we're gonna make a buck off that beer you're gonna buy, but we're not gonna give you everything.
Right. And I think that was the thing that I quickly realized when I was going through all the concessions in the suite and all that. Like I was expecting what I got in the box seats that I had, last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where you got like shrimp cocktail all over the place. You got all types of desserts and you could just go in and it was all good.
Mm-hmm.
And all they had in the suite was cheeseburger, chicken fingers, like basic basement stuff. And I'm like, yo, like of course I didn't pay for the tickets.
Like, I'm trying to get the game.
But like I want the full experience if I'm coming in for this.
Mm-hmm.
So it does raise the question of, okay, Joe Brady wanted to have the red and blue game in the stadium, but did we all need to be there for that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let this be one of those years where, hey, as you know, the stadium is not complete. And we want the first experience the fans have to be a great one. So we're going to finish everything first and then let everybody come in. That way, it's not, well, there weren't any concessions. The water refill stations weren't working. And then, oh, by the way, the sight lines are blocked by poles and boxes and stuff like that. Because that does compound the thing.
You're right.
Imagine if the stadium had all of the other amenities going. They had the fans blowing. They had you know what I'm saying? Like if everything was working the way that it was supposed to work and you had all these different distractions, maybe the sightline stuff is like just kind of minimized a little bit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think also, who was really there to watch the scrimmage?
Yeah. Everybody was there for
they
the
went
stadium.
To the stadium.
Right.
And they're like, what is this? That kind of thing. So they probably would have been best served to tell
this is
you.
On my seat.
This is ridiculous. Is this a scratch? Whose butt was in my seat?
Did a construction worker put a booger on my seat? What is that?
So yeah, I mean, like it might have behooved him to tell you before you got in there that we're not going to have this on. We're not going to have this. This is the refreshments. But when the game happens, we're going to give you, Delaware, whoever it is now. We're going to give you these things. They're going to like the Sabre. They have the hot dog of the other teams, whatever. They're local foods of wherever the team's coming from. Yeah. If they'd have told you we're going to have this as a menu, we're not going to have that. We'll have free water because we don't have our refill station, but you're not getting free water when the games happen. We're going to, then okay. Then that would have minimized, because once you find one thing wrong, now you start looking for more things wrong.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, it's hot as hell in here.
That's a great point.
And I can't see. And I'm not being rained on. Oh no, this stadium's trash. Tear it down. Tear it all down.
That is a great point. I think that's the most objective approach to everything that's happened with the stadium so far. Is it could have been better if they just waited.
Yeah.
Don't let us in during a red and blue game when you're not prepared to give us the experience that we were looking for after paying $850 million. Right. Probably not the best idea, Buffalo Bills. So I think we cleared it up. I think most people could agree with that, even if their experience was bad or good. I think most people can agree with that.
I hope so.
All right.
Yeah, what you got?
So now, what I did throughout this week is I did a cost benefit analysis of the Buffalo Bills being here in Buffalo. Okay. Now, listen.
I'm listening.
Stay with me now.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not bringing you this information from the standpoint of, well, we don't need the Bills in here and blah, blah, blah. Like, please understand that's not where this is going. Okay. But what I'm trying to do with this research is I'm trying to show the actual value of the franchise so that people can begin to understand the leverage that they hold, right? Because I think so much of what happened with this most recent deal and giving up the most subsidized money a state has ever given to the NFL is surrounded around this idea that we don't want the team to leave.
I want to hold you, but we got to get to it.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Marcus Warren, 16 hours. I'm going to call you that 16 hours just because. Salute, fellas. And the chat.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Okay. So.
Did they have Tyson foods? I don't know.
It's probably where this chicken fingers
came from. Microwaves too every year.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna start here. Right? The Bills contributed $27 million annually. I'm sorry. The Bills currently contribute $27 million. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. Before the new stadium. I apologize. Before the new stadium was built, the Bills contributed $27 million annually in direct income, sales, and use taxes for New York State and Erie County and the city of Buffalo combined before the new stadium was built. Okay. After the $2.2 billion stadium was completed, the state projects those revenues could exceed $1.6 billion cumulatively over the next 30 years, which equals annually $53.3 million. So every year we go from 27 million to now 53 with the new stadium. Okay. The state also estimates an additional $385 million in annual economic activity from visitors who attend Bills games. Now, visitors is anybody outside of state. So now you're accruing, hotel money, restaurant money, the money for attending the game, in which case sales tax is applied. That goes straight to New York State, so on and so forth. Okay. This does not account for what's called the substitution effect. Okay. The substitution effect is, instead of spending $300 at a restaurant in Buffalo, that $300 might now go to the Bills stadium instead. Based on this information, this taints the projection numbers a bit when you consider the context of how that projected money will actually be spent here. Okay. So those are the benefits of having the Bills here. Most of it is basically tourism. Okay. Keep that in mind. All right. The cost. Everybody knows about the $850 million from New York State and Erie County combined. Okay. The Pagulas, I doing this research, this is the first time I heard this. Okay. The Pagulas put up roughly $1.25 billion towards the stadium costs. Did you know about that?
Okay, you said 1.5 bill?
1.25 billion towards the stadium costs. Okay. So our 850 million plus their 1.25 billion equals the 2.25 billion or 2.2 billion, right? The agreement also calls for another approximately $280 million for maintenance and capital improvement commitments over the span of the 30-year lease. Okay. So basically what this means is a portion, and I got the breakdown later, but I'll give it to you now. Actually, I'm sorry. Here it is right here. So this capital improvement, this maintenance and capital improvement commitment consists of approximately $100 million for maintenance or repairs, and at least $180 million for capital improvements. Now, capital improvements are upgrades on the stadium, right? Because maintenance is covered under the 100 million. So the other 180 would be if they wanted to somehow, make space for seats somewhere else, or they wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like any upgrades on the sound system or scoreboards or anything like that, right? That's where the 180 would come in. But again, when you think about how far between upgrades have been for the old stadium, we're probably not going to see that money be spent until 15 years from now, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? When technology is taking another major jump. So in total from New York State and Erie County, our contribution is approximately $1.13 billion. Okay. That's the 850 plus the 280. Okay. That's $1.13 billion that we've contributed now towards this new stadium over the span of 30 years. All right. Now, mind you, all of this is before considering things like financing costs, infrastructure expenses, or inflation adjustments too. None of that stuff goes into this 1.13 billion. Yeah. All those considerations come after that'll be attributed to us through our tax dollars. Okay. Now, what's the cost versus the benefit? Okay. Here we go. $27 million in annual direct tax times a 30-year lease equals $810 million in direct tax money over the next 30 years. We are paying approximately $1.13 billion over the next 30 years. So who won that deal? Okay. Here's where it gets interesting. The PSL money totals out at $259.3 million in net revenue for the Bills and Terry Pegula for the 2026 season. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The PSL money that got paid just to buy season tickets totals out for every PSL that was sold $259.3 million in net revenue for the Bills and Terry Pegula for the 2026 season. If you take that same number and you don't adjust it for inflation, you just say it's just $259.3 million times 30 years for the 30-year lease. That is $7.7 billion. That's going to become more as inflation increases. It's not going down. Okay? Now, when you add that to the initial $1.13 billion from New York State that we gave them and Erie County, that gives you a grand total of $8.83 billion for the Bills and Terry Pegula for this new deal. Okay? So essentially, the $1.25 billion that Terry Pegula gave up initially, he's making back times 8 in this deal over the next 30 years and probably more. Mm-hmm. And that does not even include the $400 million check that he gets from the NFL for their profits over the last year, which they get every October. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what does this all mean? In general, professional sports stadiums do not produce large increases in metropolitan income, employment, or economic growth sufficiently enough to justify major public subsidies on a purely financial ground. Okay, now this is per the Citizens Budget Commission. All right. University at Buffalo's review of the release document specifically noted that the experts, including the state's own analysis, concluded that the bill's economic effect was substantially lower than some of the figures promoted by the organization. After I did all of this, I came to the conclusion that we still don't realize how much power we hold. When you think about what happened with the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts, those teams left, but they came right back. Whether it was the same team or another team that replaced the old team and took on the same name. I'm not trying to start a war here between fans and the Bills. I'm simply saying when it comes to leverage conversations, when it comes to tax money, all that kind of stuff, let's think about it next time. When these 30 years are up and we're truly weighing the benefit of having an NFL team here, I basically just showed you they're really not impacting the economy in the way that we can't replace. The city is too big. The research tells you the city is too big for an NFL team like the Bills to affect our GDP that bad. Right? So why not begin to start taking some of that power back and really get the fan base to a place where we understand what we've contributed to this team. And we're tired of watching them slap us in the face with 60-year-old rhetoric and the expectation of us just continuing to shell out money for a product that's not up to par for what we're spending on it. I'm going to continue to try and empower the fan in this way for as long as I possibly can, because information is the only way to do it. And hopefully somebody who knows somebody in government or something like that is listening to this, because to me, this is what creates change. Getting the information out and getting people empowered with knowledge to be able to make an informed decision next time the conversation comes around and the Bills want to have this conversation on, well, you either give us the biggest contribution any state has ever given the NFL or we're going to leave. And we're easily going to say, guess what? We have an NFL stadium here. We can fill it. Be on your way. Now, that's my mindset. Again, I'm not asking people to take this mentality now. We still have the team here. I love that. But what I don't want us to do is I don't want us to be just slaves to a Buffalo Bills team because we have this notion that they run the city and they this and they that and they got all this power and we have none. That's not the case. The research shows that the city has all the power if it really wanted to wield it. The people have the power if they really wanted to wield it. That's just what it is. That's what the numbers tell us. Okay. But I digress.
What do you think about this here? Dan said it's too late now. Pagula set a precedent, and now every team is going to war with the public for money. KC and Chicago are moving state lines to secure their money already.
Yeah.
Chicago's crazy because I actually like their stadium. I know it's retrofitted. It looks kind of weird because you see the old facade, but then you see this futuristic thing inside of like this scooped out. It's crazy because it's like it sticks out on top of it.
Brick building.
Yeah, it's like the old Soldier Field, but then on top of it is like the new stadium is like sticking out over. It's like oozing over the top of it. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Slim Nady. He keep calling Kim Pagula Miss Kim. That's his thing. That's the only nickname he gives that you know exactly who he's talking about, Miss Kim.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Half the things he says.
Just so everybody is aware, also, even if the Bills did put a dome on this stadium, we still wouldn't have been able to host Super Bowls because the qualifications for that is obviously you have to have the building to host it, but you also have to have 70,000 seats at least.
You gotta have that, and you gotta have somewhere to put these people.
You gotta have the infrastructure, right?
Yes.
Right. So I mean, there's a new hotel being built downtown as we speak, and it finally started going from just the frame for several months to now actually looking like a building that's being built.
They could easily do it. They just got to do it.
Right. So I think in another 10, 15 years or something like that, maybe you take that, take that 180 mil and put that towards a roof, just do it. You know what I mean? I don't care what any player says. This mindset of we want them to come here and play in the cold, like that doesn't affect players as much as you think it does. And
I used to love playing when it was cold because it's so hot in those pads.
You're
like, thank God.
Right. And the other part is too, like, realistically, like let's think about the teams that we've played with that the cold really truly affects. Since I've been watching ball, the only team that I've ever seen come here and be affected by the cold has been friggin' Tua and the Dolphins. Yep. That's it. And realistically, it was Tua, right? Because I've seen Chad Pennington come here and throw the ball just fine, and his arm is just as weak as Tua's.
What was his name? Skylar Thompson. He almost beat us that game.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So it's not like the weather thing. Like these players play in college all over the country. That's not a thing anymore like it used to be back in the 90s when there weren't that many college teams back then. So let's ease up on that too. But
now, before somebody say you can't have grass in a dome. I thought, doesn't Arizona have a dome?
Yeah. So what they do is they roll their grass outside.
They roll it outside. They like it. It's like a sheet. They pull it out.
Yeah.
They let it sit in the sun and they push back.
It's not hard.
There's ways to do it. Joey said, I don't care about hosting Super Bowl. I just want a dome so we don't have to worry about whether when Josh is throwing the ball like we do every time we play. I don't worry about throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think he can throw in anything.
Yeah,
I think what Joey might be talking about, though, is when he throws the ball, is the receiver going to get blown out of the way by the storm that's going on? Is that ball going to move a little bit, and then all of a sudden that receiver that we're expecting to be great can't track it?
No, Josh is like, yes, lasers, all lasers.
Exactly.
My forte. Whoa,
forget
lasers.
all this offseason training. I'm throwing darts everywhere. But yeah, so I thought that was very informative, and I do hope that people, understand that that's not that whole, structure of everything I just gave was not designed to put a target on the Bills' back or anything. I'm just trying to make sure that people are informed so that we can make better decisions going forward. I'm tired of hearing people complain about stuff that we can fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to provide solutions, not problems.
Yeah, Joey has said, meanwhile, they're wearing shirts and saying it's not cold enough. Dumb Miami fans and players. The funny thing is, the funny thing about that is the coach is high, so it doesn't even matter. He didn't know. He didn't feel a thing.
Maybe not. The 49ers. So here's what we got to understand about the 49ers at that point when we played them. They were just a bad team at that point in time. They had a ton of injuries, and they were just not a good team at that point in time. They were recovering from. They were what, 2 or 3 years removed from a Super Bowl appearance with Brock Purdy,
and you can remember it. McCaffrey went out early. I was at the game.
Yeah, so I don't, I try to.
When McCaffrey went out that whole game, because McCaffrey was dicing this up.
Yeah, for sure. I was very thankful when he went out because knowing the strength of their offensive line versus our guys.
Yeah,
that would have been a bad
night. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh snap. Okay, we gotta wait. Jaquita, you gotta try back again. We can't get you on. It's saying device is not connected. I don't know if you came in and dropped back out, but definitely hit the link again. Just for those of you that don't see it, it's so at the top of the chat is our call-in link. If you guys have thoughts on anything so far in the show, give us a call. Let us know what you think. That is in there. Hopefully you all can see it. You should be able to. I think on Facebook and all the other platforms, if you scroll, you should be able to scroll.
Well, Joey said, like it happened during the Bengals. We couldn't throw the ball worth the damn, and they were kicking the hell out of those. Well, that game
in the playoff game, you mean?
Yeah. But see, that game was the fact that we didn't have the right cleats on half the game.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Slide on your own field. Like, what was the equipment manager?
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it was. But then they say no. They were so worried about Hamlin. I know Sankey's over there like, oh, but they were so worried about the trauma of Hamlin that there was no way we were going to win that game.
Right. All right. So the last thing for me, and I kind of like this conversation here. So the Mike Sando report. Did you see that? Josh Allen is pissing the coaches off.
Yeah. Well, this was be like, yes. Oh, that's it, man. Go to hell. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I like once I saw what it was too. It was like, but then it made me think. Right. So
thought provoking. Let's go.
The Mike Sando report. Basically, Josh Allen's extensive freedom in setting his own protections has caused some minor frustration for coaches. My question became: is this a good thing or a bad thing? Right? Because there are some contingent of fans that are going to look at this as, well, you know, he should be listening to the coaches and he should be doing, because the coaches know best and blah, 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 and all of the confirmation bias of positions that people typically have in society, right? But think in seeing that and in thinking about it, I started to think about your points of Josh Allen needs to be a little bit more forceful with how he approaches not just his job, but the jobs of the people around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the interesting thought became this. Is it possible that Josh Allen sat in all of these interviews with these coaches and realized that the only way that he was going to be able to ensure that he could get his way is by pushing for Joe Brady?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because most of the other guys, I mean, especially if Dayball comes in here, it's going to be Dayball's way or no way.
Yeah. And right? Allen knows that.
Correct.
Got him back.
All right. We got Jay Kidda back. Let's bring him on here. Kidda, what's up, man? Can you hear? Oh, let me unmute him. Let me unmute. Is he not? Nope. Can't mute.
Can he unmute?
You got to connect your microphone and unmute yourself. I'll put you backstage for a second, let you get that worked out.
There you go again. Yeah. So no, I mean that's probably your point. You look at how this team is being run, good or bad. Since sorry, whatever. We'll be all right. But no, good or bad. You see the difference in how Sean McDermott ran the team versus how Joe Brady's already running the team. Joe Brady, he's trying to take bits and pieces of what he learned from McDermott with the whole vagueness of the injury. He's got a leg, a lower body. Just not going to fly when the regular season hits. And trying to work. He's trying to kind of word things the way we heard McDermott do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got to mix in. Give me 1 second, kiddo. But we got to mix in the music choices, CJGJ, some of the other new age stuff that they're bringing. It's like the perfect storm that we wish we would have seen without getting rid of the previous, because we knew we had success. And we knew that the locker room respected whether they liked him or not.
Right.
So now we got a guy coming in that's got all these guys that have been there pretty much before. And now this guy who has never done this job before, and they're like, he has to win them over. So he's got to kind of walk on eggshells as he finds his footing and to get them to buy in before he loses the locker room already.
Exactly. Yep. All right, let's get Kidda on the show here on the High Mike High Tech Hotline. Kidda, what's up, man? How you feeling?
You still muted.
Still muted. Let's see if we can turn him on. So he messaged us privately, letting us know that he was having some network issues. It looks like he might still be having those same issues. Let's put him backstage.
Send us an email. No.
Yeah, and
or if it's just a question or a point you want us to touch on, just type it out. We'll read it and address it.
No,
for you.
so what you got to do when you click the link, it brings you into to a page where you can turn your microphone on and your camera on.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want your face on the show, then you can leave the camera off, but you gotta put your mic on. And it should easily connect on a phone or whatever device you're using. As long as the microphone is like if you're on a phone, it's going to connect to the microphone automatically because it's like taking a phone call. But
yeah, I mean we're getting closer to the end of the show. So if you have a question or comment, we can't get the phone. We don't want to ignore you. Just just write us and we'll read it and then we'll address it.
Yep. Okay. Message us in the private chat when you're ready for us to try again, Kidda. We'll leave you backstage for now. That way you don't have to click the link again, but hit us up in the private chat. Let us know you're ready for another shot. Okay. So to your point, bro, I agree. I think it's a good thing from the standpoint of Josh taking charge and putting Joe Brady in that place where he's got to earn it. You know what I'm saying? And if that equals the growth in his leadership of a franchise, because I think he's been a great leader of a team in, putting up with Sean McDermott and not showing up Sean McDermott and just trying to bridge that gap as much as possible. But now leading an entire franchise and saying, look, y'all did y'all thing for however long. It's my time now. And y'all acknowledge that these are the players I want you to go get. These are the coaches I want you to go get. This is how we going to structure the offense. These are the calls that I'm going to call. This is the offense because Aaron Rodgers has been doing it forever. We heard from Tyler Dunn on Colin Cowherd recently talking about the relationship between him and Mike McCarthy and how after a while, Aaron Rodgers just started throwing the ball out of bounds because he didn't like to play. Mm-hmm. During games, you know what I'm saying? We didn't see Josh doing any of that. So I think Josh has been very honorable and respectful in his way of getting to this place where he has the platform and the floor now to start dictating. I'm fine with it.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing from no coaches about nothing when it comes to this guy who's carried your franchise to the level that it is now and the house that Josh Allen built over there at New Highmark Stadium. Y'all can't tell him nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. He has to understand that, and I think that's one of my major grievances with him. Like, you have talent. However you see it, you have talent. You have a fan base behind you. You have an ownership that's behind you who showed you that. Now, if you didn't know before, you should know now.
Yeah.
Your waterworks got to coach fire, whether you like it or not. So I think for she ain't talking to me for sure. She's talking to you
because we talking like that about Josh.
She's talking to you only. Anything I say about Josh, it's going to be misconstrued as he sucks. So let me word myself carefully. No, but I think that's the thing that for me that turns me off to Josh. Is like, I don't say he's not talented. I don't say that he's that he's not one of the best in the league. But what I do say is you got to parlay that into something, because I don't feel bad for you when this happens and you're sitting on your hands. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, well, he's just waiting. We don't have that much time to wait.
Right.
I got to get my wings. So I don't have the rest of my life. And when we connect, like we talked about earlier with Josh Allen, we feel a certain way about our local boy now. But at some point in time, you got to want it as much as the fan base does. Yep. And by not showing up the team, but by demanding a higher standard, by demanding using your muscle, using your weight to bring about a change. I mean, think about it. I don't know what him and McDermott, what that was. I don't know if he could have, got McDermott fired whenever he wanted to. I don't know if he could have said, I just to circumvent him, this is the guy I want. Because the guys he want also were out of his price range sometimes. And that's not for him to care about. Yeah. But he also wanted Keon Coleman. He also wanted Dalton Kincaid. So on top of those two players, he wanted Kyle Allen. He wanted Matt Barkley. He wanted all his buddies. He got them. Yeah. So that should tell you right there. Move it up a little higher. Right. Move that demand up a little higher. And so I mean, they can't tell you something, but they do.
They try.
They try. I mean, so far they do, because even though I believe he's okay with what it is, I don't think this is his vision of the best team he can play with. Mm-hmm. If you ask him, is the Super Bowl roster, he's gonna say what McDermott said. I love the guys in the locker room. That's what he's gonna say. I bet you. I don't think he's gonna say, yeah, this is definitely a Super Bowl roster. We're gonna keep kicking at the door. And the thing is, as far as the grade uniforms that everybody hates, that was so awkward. He came out of nowhere. Hey guys, I gotta say, it's like me trying to plug Mike High Tech after the hour mark. Lay off the jerseys. They're packing up. The media's already up there. He's like, one more thing. They're like, oh, he's got something else to say. What? Lay off the gray jerseys. They're like, the hell did that come from? Nobody even mentioned the jerseys. Right. So that tells you the front office.
He has some say in those
jerseys. Marketing. Well, that and the front office marketing said, make sure you say something good about those jerseys for us. And he's like, all right. And that's a metaphor for how he's been in Buffalo.
Yeah.
All right.
I like this thought, and I don't what
Dorothy. Keys.
So I don't really know what she's calling your name out for. You didn't say nothing wrong.
To her, I did.
Probably. So here's what I think is kind of a cool thought. If Josh Allen was a part of this New Jersey idea, right? Wouldn't it speak to a desire within Josh Allen to leave his own legacy on the Buffalo Bills?
I would hope so.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that you and I have been asking for 3 years. You more specifically than I have.
Yeah.
Because I just know his nature is not that.
Right.
But what's cool is, and what I think is interesting about this Mike Sando report and what it says is, you can kind of see Josh Allen taking the reins in the most Josh Allen of ways, where there's this chasm of opportunity that kind of, just opened up for him once Sean McDermott was fired. And now he's very subtly just, nobody's standing here. Okay, well, I'll stand here, and he just kind of inches, step by step, like half inch by half inch towards that middle position, so that now everything is revolving around him the way that it should.
Yeah.
And Josh designed those great. Did he really? Josh designed those great uniforms?
I hope not.
I would not be surprised. I would not
be.
No,
I thought they interviewed the guy that was in spearheading that initiative, and it wasn't. I don't know.
Really?
I think they did.
I mean, Josh has got to have some say in that. I have to believe, especially the helmet thing. Like, I have to believe he's got some kind of.
I hope so, because that helmet was my thing. I begged you guys. I begged you for a blue helmet.
Yeah, and they sure enough gave it to you too.
And the face mask.
Whoa!
Since he's laughing. Whoa!
Give it up for Keys. He's happy. He got his dream.
I did.
But yeah, to me, like, I think those were all the thoughts that came through with this report. Is like, man, are we finally getting what we asked for from Josh Allen? And it is going to be very interesting to see where all this stuff goes. It's going to be very interesting to see, how much more he takes on if, A, things don't work out, and B, things do work out. Right. If things start to run smoothly and they win 14 games this season, and what's the hardest schedule they will have played since you name a year, you know what I'm saying? Is Josh Allen going to be like, I don't need to change much?
Yeah.
Let's just keep status quo.
While you're saying, I was like, I'm going to catch a lot of hell for what I'm about to say. Whatever. The first 5 games will be arduous, right? Some of the hardest games we play, I believe, right? The first 5.
Yes.
What if we were 1-4? I almost wouldn't mind having a losing record of the first 5. Why? Because I want to see what the new leader does. I want to see, because it's not going to be Brady. They don't care. They're not listening to Brady. The defense don't give a damn about him. They're listening to 17. The 17 say, nope, players only meeting, scrap it. Nope, this is what we're doing, and they will react to that. But see, I think he needs that. He needs that moment, because I saw something that said that New England's going to win the division again, but the Bills are going to make the playoffs. So as long as we make the playoffs, And we have this new mind state. We have this new attitude, this new moxie, this new mantra, this new thing. You could rip through some people once you catch fire at the end. The beginning is where I think you need to set in stone the pecking order. And right now it should be Josh Allen is a pecking order because he's 9 years in now. This is his 9th season in Buffalo. There's only Deion Dawkins, Reed Ferguson. That's it. That's still on his team. There's no other coaches besides him. There's nobody. So it's like you are it. You're the elder statesman, save for Deion Dawkins.
Yeah.
So this would be the time to like they always say, regress to progress. If you regress, the worst thing that can happen for this team is to coast through this season again, getting overconfident. Fans like, see, I told you it was meant to. And then when teams get you on film, they get a feel for what your tendencies are, who the players are. You get injuries, fatigue. It's gonna be a hell of a run at the end. Yeah. But if they can develop an attitude early, I think that'll propel us to the next level.
Quick question: do you think the new blue helmets would work with the regular uniforms? It's a different blue, first and foremost.
Yeah, no.
Like, not even if they made it the same blue as the jersey?
I'm trying to really be nitpicky with this because my mind is like, yeah, give me the blue helmets. I don't care.
I don't care.
But if I'm thinking about T saying all blacks don't match blacks, I'm like, okay.
That's a good point.
No, it's not. The hell it is. No, I mean, yeah, if you change the jerseys up to match the helmets, then yeah, that would be cool. That would work.
Okay. It's just an interesting thought because I'm looking at so I was looking at what Videsh said. He said red helmet with white uniform against the Broncos, and I was thinking about that. I like using that a lot on Madden because I just like the look of it. But then I thought like there was something on Madden that what I would do is I would choose the away uniform and just put the red helmet on it. Mm-hmm. And then when they would come on and I would see the blue socks, I'm like, something is off, right? So I went back and looked at the uniforms, and they wore the Red Sox back then with the red helmet with the blue numbers. And even still, like there's something about blue numbers and red helmet that's like the blue stripe on the middle of the helmet doesn't really pop as much as I would need it to in order for it to kind of correlate with the blue numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. It's just something about the blue numbers and the red helmet just kind of throws me off. And then you got the blue stripes on the side. Like it just doesn't seem like the helmet was made for that uniform. You know what I mean? And then when I thought about that, I was like, what if they did the blue helmet with that away uniform at some point in the future? That might look pretty cool.
Just let me see the helmet more than once. Nate says, so we're fashion critics now too? No, I'm wearing an Elmo shirt. What am I going to do? What am I doing? I'm wearing an Elmo shirt. So there is this thing called a game going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's a real game tomorrow. And I mean, we got a couple minutes left, and I'm like, well, it's not, it doesn't count, but it counts against another team. That happens to be Carolina when McDermott's not here. Go figure. What are you looking to take away from this game? Like, what are you looking to see? Are you looking to see any particular player, any particular scheme, any particular matchup pairing?
Unfortunately, in playoff games, the only real thing that exists is in the trenches. And the reason I say that is, well, the trenches and quarterback play. Those are the only two things that you can really gauge with any kind of, objectivity that lasts throughout the season, because you can't fake or mimic or design a fake scheme around a guy beating the guy across from him with a swim move or just muscling him into the quarterback behind him. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't fake that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be very interested to see how our defensive line performs against, the Panthers offensive line, and then same thing vice versa. How does our offensive line hold up against their defensive line, which is pretty good? Those to me will be very good indicators for what we can expect during the regular season.
Right.
Josh Allen and his quarterback play, I don't really need, I know he's got it. So You know what I'm saying? So again, for me, everything's gonna be in the trenches. If you have a young quarterback, obviously you want to see him be able to diagnose things pretty quick, even if it's a throwaway scheme that they're just using for preseason. You still want to see him go out there and be able to execute, on the fly and just find the right guy and get the ball out quick and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But those are really the only things that you're gonna see in preseason that mean anything. The routes that the receivers are running may not even be the real routes. You might see Keon Coleman destroy somebody several times in the preseason game. It doesn't mean anything until they get to the regular season.
Right.
So,
yeah, it's going to be one of those deals where they're going to try to find DJ Moore early and often, so they can get that matchup on tape, so they can go back and watch it during the week. But for me, like you said, I'm kind of looking towards Landon Jackson winning that other end battle because I have no interest in TJ Sanders. I just don't.
It's your second round pick, bro. You got
know, and it shouldn't
unless
have been.
You're gonna boogie bash him.
It shouldn't have been. I mean, no.
Real quick, chat. Does TJ Sanders get the boogie basham treatment? Is he gone before he even gets to his third year? That was crazy to me.
Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, for the knees, I want to see the knees. I want to see if Ray Davis puts up or shuts up. Because he's going to get a lot of. I should be a running back. I'm not this. I should get more time. So now is the time to prove it. Should you be a running back? Should you be the number 2 guy behind James Cook? Should you be a number 1 somewhere else if need be? And I think this is the start after you opened your mouth. Now is the time for you to say, all right, he's right. He should have been playing. He's right. Laura thinks I hate everybody, and she's going to fight me later about this because you said, I don't hate TJ. I just don't see the value in moving up to get TJ Sanders there. Also, I'm looking to see, like you said, the defense is a concept.
She's right. She's right.
Yeah, he's a special teams guru. Yeah, no, I'm. Oh, you talking about? Wait. Oh yeah. Ray Davis. No, I'm also looking, as you said, decent defense is a concept. We know we're not going to show everything,
right?
But they're going to show something because they have to put it on tape. This is their first year of Jim Leonard being a defensive coordinator, and he has to see because obviously, when you have Caleb Elarms or you have TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, you have the defensive the nose tackle battle. We have to see can they play when we need them to play the way I need them to play. So you're not going to see everything, but I don't think it's going to be as vanilla as preseason usually is. So I it's going to be scripted because whoever the Carolina coach is, I'm not even going to humor myself and act like I know who it is. He's going to call Brady and say, you know what, I want to get a look at this. Can you run that? And then vice versa. I want to look at this guy. Can you do this? There's a little secret handshake coaches have. So we don't know what they are, but we know they're going to want to see something. And with Jim Leonard being a first-time defensive coordinator with a bunch of pieces that he didn't select himself, he's going to want to know if he needs more pieces, if he needs to maneuver what he's doing going forward. I really want to see an explosive Javon Solomon off the edge. Because if you saw what they said about Cassius Howell, if you saw how they're talking about Ruben Bain, even though we know we weren't going to get him, the first time, he got swallowed up. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? But
hit it again. You keep saying it. Jeez, bro. Golly.
But, like I said, you're going to get beat some days, but in short arms, you got there for a reason. And that's why I say Landon Jackson needs to be that 4-eye. That's why I say, certain players need to be in a position that they played to get there because you got there for, we're gone to the days where we're taking people for athleticism. Gone are the days where we're taking people based on merit. At least that's what we should be doing. We saw them exceed in this position before. So this is what you're going to do now. So that's one of the reasons why TJ Sanders for me is a no, because we never saw him play defensive end except last year. And he wasn't that good at it, but it's not his fault.
Right.
So Javon Solomon is someone I'm definitely going to be watching. I've been begging for that bendy guy for years, and he's the only one we got.
Yeah, I know, man. That's the crazy part. Jeez.
Let's see. I want to see Jordan Hancock in the slot because I need to see somebody put fire underneath D. Alford's feet. And Hancock right now is the slot, the back, I believe, backup slot. Kenai Walker's not playing tomorrow, I guess, so we won't see him.
That sucks.
Yeah. But going into this is okay. I have a little bit of time so don't kill me for this. But the Javon Solomon thing. We have 3 preseason games. If he doesn't work out, there's another name out there that's been linked to the Bills. He's about 37.
Oh God, please don't.
Now, This is why. This is why.
Just don't.
This is why. Producer, cut his mic. Okay. Okay. So if you,
I don't even know where you're going, but I'm just preparing myself. Go ahead. I'm listening.
If you, I don't honestly, Pops, I don't know what happened to Walker. I just know they said he didn't practice yesterday, and that was, I think that's the last practice before the game. Now, I think Von Miller could be a low price quick fix. This is why. He wants to come back to Buffalo, so he's not going to hit you over the head for price. I think the market value for Von Miller is like $4 million, $5 million. If you look at what he's done in 37% of the snaps, 37% of snaps last year he played. In 2024, he had 6 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 16 pressures, 8 quarterback hits. Those would all register as numbers that, look at this guy. This all registers as numbers that would put him in the upper echelon of Buffalo Bills defensive line play. The team decided they didn't have enough purpose for players like Vine when he openly said he'd come back last year. But why would they do that when they make such investments as they did on the defensive line by getting duplicate players? Miller would fit. He would. He'd feel like a hand in glove. I love this. Now, if you look at what Von Miller's done, in 23 games played where he had less than 35% of snaps on defense, he's got 7 sacks.
Oh my God, I'm holding my breath the whole time, dude.
Good.
Bro.
Pass out.
Bro, we are not bringing him back here.
Well,
we are not bringing Von Miller back here.
Let me have this conversation.
Put that finger up one more time.
You gonna break it?
Stop, bro.
I do like this finger.
You're not bringing a 37-year-old pass rusher back to do what? To get the money we're already paying him to come and play?
We're not paying him anymore. We're not paying him anymore.
What?
We're not paying him anymore.
Since when?
This is his first year without him. Yes. No. But well, Vine would have been better than Bosa. But see, the thing is, okay. Steve said, "Hell yeah, bring Vine." I think Steve.
Oh my God!
No,
y'all
I think Steve is hating. He's like being sarcastic.
Y'all trying to get me to blow up is what's
Steve,
happening
I think
right
Steve's
now.
Being sarcastic.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Stop, please. Just stop.
Laura's got a lot of haze going on around her right now. If you know what I mean. A lot of haze going on around her. So I'm not listening to her.
She wouldn't even care if that was the case right now.
She don't care now. Slim Nady say you'd rather bring back Bobby Wagner. See, the point is, it's not about bringing back this or that. It's about who can you get that's a bendy edge rusher that's not going to play a lot and make an impact when he does play. And it's proven that that this guy is going to make almost nothing. Great. We got Giles with 3 ACL problems. Vine bring back Vine with 2 of them, and it'll be the ACL twins. They'll make it through the next one. Yeah, you watch out.
Thank you.
Vine Miller playing 30% of snaps.
No. It doesn't fit Jim Leonard's idea of what he wants on defense. He wants guys to be out there like 70 to 80% of the time.
Look, all right.
Von Miller being out there for what, 15, 20% of the time? No, it's
15,
not
20,
worth the money.
34.7%. Okay.
If he's giving me 12 sacks playing 15% of the time, fine, but you can't guarantee that.
12?
Yes.
5.5.
How much money do you think he's going to want?
He's worth about $4 million, $5 million.
For a 37-year-old pass rusher that could easily get hurt in the first 4 weeks of the season? No, thank you.
Hey, you paid Bosa. You paid what's the clown last year? The other boy, Ogunjobi. How much you give him?
$10 million.
Would you rather give Ogunjobi $10 million or Von 5?
That's not the choice I have here. What I have here is keep the guys on my team or add Von Miller to the team. In that scenario, hell no. So I'm good.
You just don't want no pass rusher again.
I have pass rushers. Okay, hold on. To be clear, I'm going by what the team is telling me.
Don't do that.
They
told you the stadium was good. They told you it was unobstructed views.
The team has already told me I have pass rushers on the team. Yes, I have Greg Rousseau. I have Bradley Chubb. I have TJ Parker. I If you want it, Landon Jackson.
I don't want it.
I got TJ Sanders on the squad.
Now you just want me to just want me to lose it on here. That's what we're doing.
And then my nose tackle happens to be one of the best pass rushers on the team, and Deion Walker. We got plenty of pass rushers.
I see what you're doing here.
We don't need another one, Key.
I see what you're doing here.
I hope you do, because I saw exactly what you was doing the second you mentioned Von Miller. And you didn't mention him by name, but I know what you was doing.
Fine.
No.
No, wait. This is how I piss off Dorothy. Devon.
Oh, my God.
Somebody said Keys talks of Solomon again just to bring up Von Miller.
How does a guy who only gets 2 interceptions a year have a freaking designer celebration with a phone? Who the hell is he calling for interceptions?
He's calling God, I think.
And he's only giving you 2. You better pray harder. You better do something. Tithe more something.
I know why it's not working.
What?
His phone's not connected to Mike High Tech. It's not Mike High Tech.
There's a reason
we
for
gotta
that.
get him in conjunction with
There's
High Mike.
a reason for
Did
that.
you know that High Mike High Tech could fix hand phones too? He can fix this. He can fix your equipment. He can fix anything that has anything to do with technology. Okay, so if you want your dude ass to do again, call him High Mike High Tech. Also, Dan, let me ask you this. I know. The water fountains. I know. Okay, I know the water wasn't free. Okay, I know this.
That's for you, Dorothy. The Jets would love to have a guy with 2 interceptions. He had none last year.
That was crazy.
That was crazy.
But this is what I'm getting with this. Dan, can I parlay you into some Reed's tea? Why? Why? Because Reed's tea has more nutritional value than water. Hell, it's got water in it.
It's true. It's very true.
You've seen the product. You've talked to the creator. Stamp. Word is bond. But don't take my word for it. Don't take your word for it. Don't take Dan's word for it. I think Laura has him. Don't take her word for it either because she's got the haze going on. But everybody else here, get you some Reed's tea. And what do we not buy? The individual. That's just cheating yourself. You're going to want more. Then you got to get back in your car, drive back to the store. How much is gas these days? You don't want them problems. Just get the case the first time. Take it home, twist it off, hand it to your wife, your girlfriend, your kid, your mom, your dad. Have a Reed's party. But trust me, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you won't be disappointed. Also, let Reed's know they need to make more of the product because we buying out the store.
Great job, bro. Great job. Dorothy is trying to come at me talking about Sauce Gardner.
No, she's coming at me.
She's coming at you about
Sauce
you
didn't
Gardner?
see the conversation. I knew you did because you didn't give me a pat on the back. I knew you didn't see it. I knew you didn't see it.
What was that about?
Oh, it was a spirited discussion about Sauce Gardner and why because she posted in the chat how Pro Football Focus had Benford at 12 at the 12 best. So I went and looked. I said, okay, guess who number 2 was? Sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess who number 1? It was like Devin Witherspoon. I'm like, and Sertan was number 3. I said, okay. So I said, so this list is BS and you know it, right? Because you're saying Sauce did nothing, but they got him at number 2 and your boy is 12. So what that mean? And furthermore, I went through the list again of all the things Sauce was did better than Benford.
Mm-hmm.
The things that matter,
the things that matter the most.
Not allow receptions, not allow long passes, not allow a quarterback to even look his way. I named those things. Yep. And also, what pissed me off when they were talking about the I know, cue it up. When they were talking about the AJ Brown beat that they show over and over and over and over. Okay, he slipped, but was he not in position to make the tackle? Had he not had to make a tackle, was he not in position? Did you see the play? He was right there.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
I don't know, Dorothy. At some point, you got to just accept the reality that, Benford has got some work to do. All right, here we go. Fellas, ladies, I got 90 seconds to get us out of here. Y'all can make bets. Y'all can do what y'all want, but let's go. All right, if you're hearing that music, that means I got 90 seconds to get out of here, which means I need to tell everybody first and foremost, thank you for sticking with the Post Podium Podcast this far into this show. And for everybody to stay tuned this entire time, you are what makes us go, right? So thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. You have supported us in the freest of ways. And if you have not done so already, please hit a button, hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit a heart, hit a something to let us know that you really enjoyed what you saw and heard today. And if you didn't, let us know why, right? We can take the criticism with the best of them. If you have something constructive to say, hey, I thought you guys could have did this, whatever the case is, J-Ham has been on my tail for the last 2 weeks now, giving us all kinds of namely all kind of criticism.
Yeah, Nate, you can't say anything, Nate.
but anyways, we appreciate everything you guys have to speak with us about, right? So with that being said, make sure you check out our YouTube channel, folks. It's right there on the bottom. That thing right there. Hit that thing. Go to our YouTube channel. We got plenty of content there for you to sift through. If you're hearing us for the first time, there's so many other topics that we talked about the bills over the years and so many other things. We got film review videos that we've done from previous seasons that you can go and check out to get more insight on the bills. Plenty of stuff, but I got to get out of here. It's been the Post Podium Podcast. Home of y'all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
For the keys.
All right, we'll see y'all later. We got to do. I got to do this thing here and then that here.